upbeat background noise, sound of a coffee shop, or a business environment. Hi, everyone. Are you tired of feeling like a robot in English meetings? You know, when you're trying to speak fluently, but it sounds like you're reading from a script? Or maybe you're worried that your accent or pronunciation is holding you back? Well, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to explore the top tips to help you sound more natural in English meetings. So let's dive in. Soft background noise. One of the biggest mistakes non-native speakers make is trying to speak too quickly. We're so used to speaking our own language that we forget that English often requires a bit more space. So, let's talk about pausing. Pausing is key to sounding natural. Think about it. When you're speaking your native language, you're not just saying one word after another. You're pausing for emphasis, for clarity, and to let your listener catch up. So try to incorporate more pauses in your speaking. Instead of saying, I'm going to the store, say, I'm going into the store. See how that feels? More relaxed, more natural. And remember, pauses are not a sign of weakness. They're a sign of confidence. Pause for emphasis. Background noise of a coffee shop. Now let's talk about contractions. Contractions are when we shorten words by combining two words into one. For example, I'm going instead of I am going, or don't instead of do not. Using contractions makes our speech sound more natural, more relaxed. And it's especially important in meetings where you want to sound confident and professional. So try to use contractions more often. Instead of saying I do not agree, say I don't agree. See how that feels? More conversational, more natural. Background noise of a business environment. Now let's talk about sentence structure. In English, we often use simple sentences, but we also use compound and complex sentences. So try to mix it up. Instead of saying I'm going to the store and I'm going to buy milk, say I'm going to the store where I'll buy some milk. See how that feels? More varied, more interesting. And remember, varying your sentence structure will keep your listener engaged. Soft background noise. Now let's talk about idioms and colloquialisms. Idioms are expressions that have a special meaning that's different from the literal meaning of the words. For example, it's raining cats and dogs means it's raining very heavily, or break a leg means good luck. Using idioms and colloquialisms will make your speech sound more natural, more conversational. And it's especially important in meetings where you want to sound confident and professional. So try to learn some new idioms and use them in your speech. Background noise of a coffee shop. Finally, let's talk about practice. The more you practice speaking English, the more natural you'll sound. So try to practice speaking every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Talk to yourself, talk to a friend, or watch English TV shows and movies with subtitles. The key is to keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn, right? Soft background noise. So, there you have it. The top tips to help you sound more natural in English meetings. Remember to pause for effect, use contractions, vary your sentence structure, use idioms and colloquialisms, and practice, practice, practice. With a little practice and patience, you'll be sounding like a native in no time. And don't forget, speaking naturally is not just about speaking fluently, it's about speaking confidently and professionally. So go out there and crush those meetings.